Welcome to the next installment of my video lecture series for international economics. And in this particular video, I'm going to be giving a brief overview of week number 8. Realize that we're covering chapters 11 and 12, and there's also a case study form due this week. Also realize that chapters 11 and 12 aren't very technical. They're pretty straightforward. They're more factually based than delving into theoretical constructs, etc. So that's why we're going to be doing 2 chapters here. So just make sure you realize that. Don't think that because you have 2 chapters in a CSF, it's going to be one of the higher intensity weeks. Chapter 11 and Chapter 12 are very, very straightforward and more factually based. So just make sure you're aware of that and that you have a case study form this week. As always, you're allowed 3 attempts per question on the homework. For any items that any particular question you're having difficulty with, make sure you use that question help drop down menu and realize that this is available to you while you're working on the actual assignment. So you're going to be able to use that while you're actually working on the homework assignments. You have a quiz here in week 8, and realize that you can use the question help drop down menu while reviewing that. So after your first attempt on the week number 8 quiz, if you're not satisfied with how you performed, make sure you review the questions that you got incorrect and use that help question drop down menu. Also, identify any particular chapter or a section in a chapter that gave you a lot of difficulty. So while you're reviewing the questions you got wrong from your first attempt in the quiz, see if you can notice any patterns in what you got wrong. Is it relate to a specific chapter or a particular section in a chapter? And I would recommend that if you see a type of pattern there, that you work the study plan for that particular section or for a particular chapter that was giving you difficulty. And after you do that, you can retake the quiz. Hopefully that type of review will improve your knowledge and improve your performance. There's a case study for this week, case study forum. Again, make sure you spend the appropriate amount of time, do the appropriate research, your internet searches, etc. Make sure that you cite them. If you're citing a particular website, make sure you include that citation. As I said previously, not for every single submission by students, but I'm going to do a random kind of sample with the submissions and search them on the internet to see if I come up with anything. So if you're going to use a particular website, make sure you cite that particular website. Also, as always, create a draft of your post and then let it sit for a little bit and then come back to it an hour later or a day later and critically review what you've written. If you read something and you can't understand it, that's fairly certain that I won't be able to understand it. So make sure when you create this draft and you review it, be critical of your own work. It's something that, as I've said previously, in talking with people I do consulting work with, when they talk about recent graduates, one of the things they talk about is writing skills that are subpar, and also the ability to be self-critical about an individual's writing. So take that opportunity to be self-critical. So create a draft, review it, make the necessary changes, and then post it. Remember again that you should submit early in the week because of the fact I'm grading these in a holistic manner, trying to make a determination of how much time you spend on it, how well it's written, do I understand it, does it relate to the specific instructions that you were given? Are you writing things that run counter to economic theory, etc.? So when you submit it, I will review it very, very closely and critically, and then I will give you a grade, and then I will respond to your post. And that will give you the opportunity to respond to anything that I post, make the necessary adjustments, and you can improve your grade. So there is a feedback loop that's available. Again, I recommend that you post your initial post appear before the weekend. This will give enough time for me to review it and then post suggestions or critiques about it and allow you to make the necessary adjustments to improve your grade.